Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Hey, Keeks here, and welcome to my series where we talk about the Star Wars timeline and exactly when all these shows are taking place. With Disney Plus releasing a lot more content and reaching a much broader audience, I've seen a lot of people kind of wonder when all these shows are happening, so we're going to take a moment here to go over The Mandalorian today and talk about when it took place and what you might want to watch before or after to have a better sense as to where we are in the universe. Starting off, this show takes place just after Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And if we remember, that's the one where Luke ends up defeating Vader. Vader ends up throwing Palpatine off the catwalk into oblivion. And then Luke helps Anakin at this point turn back to the good side and eventually become a Force ghost. At this point, the Empire is completely destroyed and the New Republic has risen in its place. But because it's so new, it does not have the reach yet to patrol the Outer Rim and all its systems. So that's why we don't really see a military force or anything enforcing any rules or any kind of laws other than the local law enforcement. If you're looking at context clues, we can see that there are helmets on spikes, so we know the Empire has fallen just with that symbol alone, but it hasn't been long enough that people have forgotten and they still remember how much they disliked being under the Empire's rule, which is why you can see the clear display of hatred towards stormtroopers. I know that Gideon confused a lot of people because he's still wearing his Imperial uniform and he has some stormtroopers with him, but at this point he's more of just an Imperial remnant, and he used to be a high-ranking Moff, but now he's just pretty much a warlord with a few people that are still loyal to him. 19 years after this show, the book Star Wars Bloodlines takes place, which is a book about Leia and her time as a senator in the New Republic. And then 25 years after this show, we have Episode 7, The Force Awakens, where Rey is introduced. So actually at this point in time in The Mandalorian, Rey isn't even born yet. The last thing I'll mention is that the final season of Star Wars Rebels, the animated show, takes place approximately 10 years before The Mandalorian, and it could be kind of a good thing to watch because there are actually a lot of plot lines that are tying into The Mandalorian and definitely will tie into the Ahsoka series, and there are a lot of reoccurring characters that might be helpful to know who they are and have a little bit of backstory before you get there. So that's when The Mandalorian takes place within the Star Wars universe timeline, and I hope that that gave you kind of a better understanding of where we're at and what's going to happen and what has happened already. If you're interested in hearing more Star Wars timeline information, stay tuned. I'm Keegs, and may the Force be with you.